What's good, y'all? So the Eagles just took an L against the Seahawks. Give credit to the Seahawks. Give credit to the Eagles, too. They worked hard. They did try. Josh McCown was trying. I give him some credit, man. I really do. Carson Wentz is just injury prone. Jadeveon Clowney, that was a dirty hit. You know, I actually say that. That kind of was a little bit of intent there, a little malicious hit. You know, he dove at Carson Wentz's head a little bit. Kind of was a little unnecessary. A lot of people want to flag and stuff like that. It is a little debatable. I'll give you that. But Carson Wentz, he could just never, ever play a full season. I don't think he's done it yet. Actually, he did his rookie season. That was about it. Other than that, he's not played a full season. Carson Wentz, man. Donovan McNabb, what he said about Carson Wentz was it looks 100% correct now. You know, I really thought Josh McCown was going to come in and win this game, kind of like how Nick Foles did. But it shows you how good Nick Foles is. And I know Nick Foles is terrible on the Jaguars, but sometimes players just play well for the Eagles. Every time Nick Foles is on the Eagles, he plays really well. Even his first time with the Eagles, he played really well. I think Michael Vick took his job back then. But, you know, Carson Wentz, he's just not able to stay healthy. He just can't, you know. And it might be time for Philly to really think about seriously moving on. Just like how Philly's thinking about moving on from Ben Simmons, you really might have to think about moving on from Carson Wentz because he can never, ever, ever stay healthy and finish the big games. He just can't do it. He just can't do it. It's not his fault. But, you know, when you get injury prone like that, like a Derrick Rose always injured, it's time to move on, man. It's time to move on. Now, next year will be the telling year for Carson Wentz. If he can't finish another season, then you got to move on, man. You got to move on. Give credit to DK Metcalf. I know Eagles fans, they wanted to draft DK Metcalf instead of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside in the second round. DK Metcalf it was a great pick. I don't know if DK Metcalf went before J.J. Arcega-Whiteside or not. But DK Metcalf dominated that game. He was just a man amongst boys. He's so strong and tall and fast. It's ridiculous. Like, that cone drill, man, it really dropped his draft stock and the route running thing. But I knew from day one, when I heard the 4.3 40, 6'5", the bench press and all that, I was like, man, the Redskins, we need to go with DK Metcalf. But I'm happy we got Terry McLaurin. But DK Metcalf, he's the real deal, man. He has the perfect quarterback in Russell Wilson for him. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch for getting that touchdown. Eagles took an L. I mean, I had the Eagles losing this game anyway. They were going to win this game whether Carson Wentz was healthy or not. But yeah, Russell Wilson, man, he's a really good quarterback. He's obviously in the MVP conversation, even though Lamar Jackson's going to win it. But that fourth down or that third down play where he threw the ball to Metcalf to seal the deal to take the air out of Philly, that was crazy, man. That was just a beautiful pass, beautiful catch by DK Metcalf. But once again, I do give credit. I tip my hat to the Eagles for staying close in this game, 17-9. They definitely could have got blown out. There was a lot of times where the Seahawks could have just ran away with this game, but the Eagles' defense hung tough and played hard. They played really, really hard, and they got a pass interference. They could have scored. It was 4th and 7. They just got sacked. Jadeveon Clowney dominated this game as well. That defensive line was 7 sacks. They just dominated this game. All right, so we'll see what happens, man. The NFC Least is over with finally. Thank goodness. Like I said, nobody from the NFC Least should have been in the playoffs in the first place. So it will be very interesting to see what happens next year. The Eagles got a lot of things to do with the wide receiver position. They got a lot of injuries. Jason Peters he's getting old. Brandon Brooks injured. Lane Johnson injured. Deshaun Jackson injured. You know, they got a lot of question marks at the wide receiver position. Alshon Jeffrey doesn't like Carson Wentz. You know what he said to Josina Anderson. We know what Scandrick said about the situation as well. So, the Eagles got a lot of question marks. They got a lot of question marks. They have a good tight end in Ertz and Goddard, but the wide receiver position is a big question. It's a big question. All right, y'all. Peace.